I'm Caroline.
I'm Phil.
And Phil is still trying to get his computer set up.
Yeah, not because I was late.
No.
Well, unless you count 24 seconds before we have to go live late, running in with my computer and questions. But I have a good excuse.
You do.
Yes. My hands that do dishes, they're as soft as your face. You must not use a specific brand, otherwise I'll be done for advertising. But I have been at the new sink.
I've got to stop you, Jeff. Thank you so much, Jeff. There's a £10 super chat and saying hello,
Jeff.
Thank you.
And a big thank you, mate. That's absolutely...
Really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And here comes...
Jeff,
thank you so much, Tom. Tom's given us a £10 super chat as well. Thank you, Tom.
Have you bought your t-shirt yet, Jeff? I beat Tom Burley.
Oh, that's really kind of you. Thank you, Tom. We appreciate it.
Gentlemen, you are gems. You know, we look at they show you the demographic of our ages and different gender and everything else, and you know, it's such a mixed bag.
It is.
And it's lovely. We've got some great guys, we've got some lovely ladies, we've got young people, we've got old people, and you were all fantastic. Thank you so much for the super chats. But folks, if you were in here tonight, if you're chatting, that's super, because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the chat.
No, and let's have a look who was first in the chat. So I put my computer right up to the top, and first in was, surprise, surprise, Adam's Advanced Adventures Mudlarking. Hello, Adam, well done. Second, Lexi B, well
Excuse
done.
me, dear.
And third, All the Glitters, well done. Third place. Oh,
Jill Taver says, can't remember what we're saving for this time, but it'll be good.
Oh, thank you so much,
and that's
Jill.
a £10 super chat.
That's really kind of you. Thank you.
Nancy Owen from the sent us $14.99.
Thank you so much, Nancy.
So, fantastic.
Oh,
thank you.
We do
are
appreciate it.
so
Really,
kind.
thank you.
You are so kind. I tell you what, there is a massive project going on at HQ at the moment. Absolutely massive. I have been weeks preparing. I've been disappointed by delays. And last night, I was not in our own premiere.
I know.
I was not there.
I
I could not be there. In all honesty, 10:20, I was trying to knock nails in quietly, not to upset my neighbours, because when tech support Tim left me at about 8:30, because it was then just a matter of pinning things down, the clouds were gathering, the rain was falling down the valley, and we were expecting a downpour. And I had no felt on my new shed roof. I had all the roof on, all the wood, and it would have got saturated. So I was felt in the roof, but the shed, Tim says he's going to help me tomorrow to move the furniture in, the desk, the chair, the cabinet for all of the finds, and we're going to have some videos from the shed as we move everything in. And for all those people who keep asking me, what do you do with all your stuff? You're going to find out. I wasn't lying. It is all in the garage, because it's now all coming down the shed.
Well, in the garage and in various other rooms of the house, but it's all going. By the end of the week, I should have my house back to not be in a pile of mudlarking bits and pieces.
The only worrying thing is, Caroline keeps saying to me, my house is full of junk, and now I've got a shed. But we have a 4-bedroom house, which Caroline defines as full of junk.
Well, it is, because I do sell, well, some people would term as junk. It's not. It's
I mean the junk that we collect from rivers.
Oh, there's that junk. There's also because I buy second-hand things and sell them on eBay, so I've got a lot of that around as well. But that's all in cupboards and
well, one of the things that will turn up down the shed is all my jars and nails and screws that I buy. When the old boys shuttle off this mortal coil and the wife or kids clear the shed, it all goes to auction, and I buy boxes of sort of pretty marmalade jars with lids on that are full of screws and nails that these old boys collected in a lifetime, and I'm adding them to my collection.
And they're all going down the shed at last. I'm so excited.
Yeah, our Joe said, you having a bed down the shed? I said, you're all right, you. I'd be lucky if I could stand in it every time I move it all in. But the shed is happening, folks, and soon we will be putting out at least a video segment, if not a video, on the shed and on the finds and on the collector's cabinet that I've got and everything else to put it all in. So there's lots of stuff to come. Lots of stuff to come. How big is this shed?
You swear it was massive, like a warehouse.
It's massive to me. Like, I've never had a shed bigger than 6x4. That's the biggest shed I've ever owned. This is 3 times the size of that. This is 6x12. And it's got a door, which is very useful, but it's got
pretty essential.
it's got 1, 2, 3 windows, and on the one corner where I put my desk, Caroline's always wanted a house with what she calls dual aspect.
Yes.
The windows that come near the corner and you get sunlight in from both sides. Well, I have a dual aspect shed. Because it was one of them ones you could choose where your panels went and design it yourself as you built it. And I've got dual aspect both. It's all come in. You will see it. It's been months of work to get it ready. I had to lay a deck because there was a drop of 18 inches on the piece of land. So I put decking in tonight.
Oh, you've been working
something I've never done before, but it's coming, folks. The shed is here.
It's here. It's up.
Here.
It just needs filling.
Yes, up, and it's got a pretty green felt roof.
Oh yes, no common felt on our roof.
All the work that I've done down there, and what does Caroline say? Oh, that's a pretty roof. She said it matches the garden. The green blends in.
Yes.
So there we go. It's all happening. But again, big thank you to everyone.
Seriously, did you by any chance buy that shed off someone called Doctor Who? I think he thinks it's a TARDIS.
I'll tell you this, right? We had friends that were moving. They were going to, was it Chile? Somewhere down Central America, wasn't it? They were moving down there, and we went to see them when they were getting ready to leave. I think it was the evening before. And they said, we've got a problem. The van is full, and so is half of the house. They still had a stack of stuff that was going to go to a shipment container to take down. Half of their stuff was still in the house, and the van was full. I unloaded the van, reloaded the van, then the van was full, and we were tucking things in as the door shut, but it all went in the van. If there's one thing I could do is stack a van, so now I'm gonna stack a shed. You wait, you've never seen so many shelves in all your life as I'm planning to put in this place.
We're hoping the floor will take the weight.
I got a beautiful picture to go on the wall. I have. It's about, it's nearly as long as my shed.
It was a bit longer.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I accidentally bought it at a picture auction. We were at a charity auction, and I felt obliged to get the bidding going because I was the treasurer for the charity. And then people stopped bidding.
I'm not surprised.
So I ended up walking across Newport with this thing on my shoulder, which was about 8 foot long and about 18 inches high, and I'm walking through Newport at throwing out time from the clubs, and everybody is just looking and thinking, I'm hallucinating. There's a man with a huge picture on his shoulder. That's going in the shed because it's been in the attic for a while because we didn't have a wall for it. And as I said, I got furniture for the shed. I'm thinking about carpeting the bit where I sit.
Oh, very posh.
Oh yes, a la posh, I tell you. I'm excited. It's here and it's in place.
Right then, are you going to show us a find?
I'll show you a
Because we
find.
need to get on with something Mudlarking related.
I'll show you a find. I'll do that for sure.
Then.
I tell you what, if I show you this find, then we can go directly to our first question after it.
It's a bit of excitement. You ready for this?
Right then, a right royal find. There we go. Look at that. Now, those of you who've watched the video know that we had a few friends with us on this particular jaunt. And it was Lynn that spotted this and asked if I'd like to have it, and I said for sure. It's unusual in as much as it's pink. That's less common in royal memorabilia. It's also unusual in the fact that is at least 2 people according to the comments, because some think it's Queen Mary, some think it's Queen Alexander. I've dug out loads of pictures on Google. I've compared. I had Caroline there, and I was flicking back and forth between the still image of this on the video and the picture of Queen Mary. I've come down on the side of the granddaughter of the King of Denmark, Queen Alexander to be. Princess Alexander when born.
Alexander or Alexandria?
I don't know.
I think it might have an I in it.
Might have.
Might.
Who knows? I know at home she was called Alex.
Oh, look, Litter says, isn't it David Bowie?
Could be. Oh, no, you've thrown me out now. Look, see, I'll have to check his picture as well now.
No, I don't think it's David Bowie.
No,
It could be, but I don't think so.
I think the actual moulding of the pottery and everything else indicates that it predates the era of Bowie. So, this lady would have become the queen or the queen consort, because her husband would have become king at the death of Queen Victoria, if we've got the right lady. and that would have been in 1901. And just for those who are interested in history, this lady had a sister by the name of Marie. See, now that's easy. I know how to say that one.
Well, somebody said it. Jill said Princess Alexandra. So there we go.
There we are.
I was wrong. It is Alexandra.
I wouldn't know. I'm dyslexic. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it, and it's the truth. So there we go. She had a sister called Marie, who married into the Russian royal family, and her son was, let me check, Tsar Nicholas II. All of what kicked off out there in the revolution, Tsar Nicholas II, that was her nephew. I tell you, they're all related. No wonder they look alike. As I said to Fee in the Shed in the comments, I think they was questioning if it was Queen Mary. I said, I think it's Queen Alexandra, but they all look the same when they dress posh, because they all wear crowns and pretty dresses.
Well, the three bets at the moment is David Bowie.
Well, there we go.
David Bowie's not one of the answers.
Well,
to let you know.
It can't be David Bowie for the moment, because that would really ruin my question. Because as the Queen Consort, this lady was the longest reigning Princess of Wales. Because, of course, Queen Victoria lived so long. King Edward VII didn't get to reign for much longer because he was Prince of Wales forever. A little bit like our Prince today, Prince Charles. But this lady did an awful lot of good in her role. She established a number of things which really improved the situation in Great Britain and around the world. One of those was the establishment of a particular organisation. Was the organisation that this lady introduced and established, Queen Alexandra, was it the Royal Medical Society? That would be A, Royal Medical Society. B, the Red Cross. Or C, St John's Ambulance. Do you think this is the lady who established, if you think it's A, the Royal Medical Society, B, the Red Cross, or C, St John's Ambulance?
Just double check. I got this wrong when I guessed. Right. Oh, my screen is going. There we go. I got the first answer there, and
That's what I've got on mine. Yeah.
There we go. So I can now go down to the bottom if I can find the bottom. What a lot of answers! They're coming in thick and fast. Be interesting to know how many people knew this and how many people are guessing it. I had no idea, so I just guessed for the one that I just sounded more popular. I don't know why, I just did, and I was wrong. Right then, so do we have our winners in?
Right in the middle of all the questions, we've got Karen Boucher saying, "Good evening, Caroline of Hill, for everyone watching from Southend in Essex." So there we are. We've got a good evening. Hello there. Hello there, Karen. Okay, and Karen has landed just on where the third answer would have been. But we have got a first answer that is correct, second answer that is correct, third answer is correct. Yes, I have got 3 correct answers.
Right, so there we go. Oh, hello, Vintage Christelle from California.
Now, if you were to have said number 3 or C, then you would be in full agreement with Caroline and therefore wrong.
I'm sorry about that.
As you would be if you said the Royal Medical Society. That was established, I believe, in 1810, considerably earlier. So it is B, or 2, or the Red Cross. This is the lady who established the Red Cross at the beginning of the 20th century.
Suzanne said, "Are you wearing pink to match this piece of pottery?"
I like pink. I do, don't I? So inspired by my pink find, I thought I'm going for my pink top.
So now you know.
And white and red together make pink. And due to the fact that I want to wish all of our English friends all the best when it comes to the final in the football, because unfortunately Denmark knocked us out, but in the last minutes you managed to knock them out. So wish you all the best. I believe it's against Italy, and therefore I've got a blend, you see. See, it's not red, it's not white, it's pink.
There you go.
There we are. I'm in the middle. I'm on the fence. But who got it right first? Well, on our screens, and that's the only ones that count, Adam's Advanced Adventures is top of the pack.
Well done, Adam.
Followed quite closely by Jenny Thomas.
Well done, Jenny.
And all I can say to Fee in the Shed is I might have disagreed with you on which royal it was, but you knew that this woman put the Red Cross in because Fee in the Shed came third.
Well done, Fee.
So there we are.
Well done to anybody else who got it wrong. You're better than me.
Yeah, and close behind Fee was Linda Peterson. No, Linda got the third one. Linda agreed with you, sorry. See, I'm so used to thinking the wife's right. I'm thinking number 3 is right as well.
Ooh.
See that? Grovel. I'm good at this groveling. I've been practicing for nearly 40 years and I'm
He's
getting...
after pancakes.
Oh, I wish.
Oh, I had an accident when I was making pancakes in the week. I was tossing the pancakes, as you do, and I flicked the pan to toss the pancake, and the whole pan went. I was left with the handle in my hand, and the pan went up and down and landed on the cooker. So I
still ate the pancake.
Yes, we scraped it off the cooker. And Phil decided, why waste it? So
You can't waste good food. Can I just say that glancing down, there's quite a mix of answers, but in fairness, your wrong answer was quite popular. Especially
I have taste.
with the boy from Abercombe Boy, Rufus Williams, who said, "See, I won."
He wins even when he doesn't.
He does. That's one thing. If you ever feel a lack of confidence and you feel that you're not worthy, just have a little chat in the chat to our boy from Abercombe Boy, and he'll soon get you on the right track. Because even if nobody else thinks Rufus has won, Rufus believes he's a winner. And you are, Rufus. You're a winner in our books, mate, every time, even though you probably get a top prize for always getting the answer wrong.
Oh, Jill said, at least it missed you and you can now choose a nice new pan. Now, the only thing is this pan. Now, it's going to sound silly.
France, right?
I was attached to my pan. When we first went to France, 30 years ago, I bought this pan and it was a crepe pan, and I was amazed how cheap it was, because all those years ago, if you wanted a specialist pan like a crepe pan, I just couldn't afford one. And they were just, I think I paid
they're commonplace in
roughly
France,
£2.50 for it in France. And I've used it for years and years, but I think it's just given up the ghost. So I'm going to have to buy another one, but I was attached to my pan. It's not fixable. It's not one of these ones and the screws come out. It is completely gone. Linda said, I thought Phil wore a pink shirt to match your lipstick. I won't give you lipstick. Right then.
No, I wore it to match mine.
No, right. I'll show you one of my finds.
Go on then.
And I'm going to show you my triangular jar. It just looks like a jam jar, nothing special until you see the shape on it. If you saw that on the video, you'd have seen it.
It was dirtier on the video, honest.
It was, yes. Now, I haven't even had a chance to see what is on the bottom of this.
I think it's a registration mark.
Oh, it says RRE 203 or RRB 203, so it's nothing exciting. There's not even a maker's name on it. I just love it because it's so unusual.
Does anyone know what was in it? Because it's a very... If somebody has seen that jar...
You remember it.
It's been made for a purpose. It's identifiable, like Shiphams, like Bovril, but I don't know what went in it.
Not easy to get things out, though. Like, if you were trying to get the bits from up there...
It was awkward to wash, to be honest, because of those little corners.
But I do like the shape. And was that for a reason or not? That is my... I've got half an idea. I found a broken one of these a long time ago. I could be wrong because we find so many jars over the years. But I'm pretty sure I found a broken one, but this is a whole one. So
Suzanne English loves it. She said, I love really that nice, jar. There we go.
Right then. I've got to have a quick drink, so say something.
Right, I'll say something. I'll show you one of my finds. Here we go. Here's a find. And we didn't realise the relevance of this piece until Graham found a larger piece of another mug and did a brilliant recitation of what he described as the Yorkshire National Anthem. And on this one, the most important line, funnily enough, I joked with Graham that, well, the most important line I always remember, and there it is on there. If you're a Yorkshire man, it's pain out.
See if you can get it closer. And put me out the way. Can I move out the way? No, closer.
There it is. Pain out.
If I can just say, people are suggesting that maybe my jar was for cheese triangles, and somebody said, Jeff said, pickled Toblerone. Now, could be pickled Toblerone.
I like Toblerone, but I don't know if I'd fancy it pickled. I've got my doubts about that. I've got another broken piece of china. Shall I show you another broken piece of china?
Go on then, show us another piece.
Now then, for all those who have already watched the video, you'll know what the very specialness about this one is, because that is pretty and that is very nice. But as I mentioned on the video, we've said numerous times that we find a lot of this pattern, because there's willow.
How many lots was that? That was lots of lots.
A lot. But we
we
rarely find the characters or the birds. And look at those characters on it. That's what pleased me, is to have the characters.
It is nice, isn't it?
And the deco around the edge and everything is very beautiful. But there's two of the characters there. So I like that. No. There you go. That's my finds. You got any finds?
I'm a little bit confused because Jill said it wasn't me. I didn't say it. I don't know if you understand. I thought I'd said Jeff, but I'm obviously talking rubbish tonight. So sorry, Jill. Jeff.
Yeah. Jeff
I
said
meant Jeff.
Jeff
Said pickle Toblerone.
Yes.
Right. So
yeah, we've had late nights and we're worse than ever.
I know.
You're gonna have my blue and white
bowl with my bowl.
Oh yes, but have you got any characters on it?
No, but mine's special.
I tell you what, it is special, because when I was washing it, I came up with an idea. I'm going to make something out of that.
Oh dear, what are you going to make?
I'm not going to tell you now, because you were underwhelmed with your response.
No, what are you going to make? I can't wait to see what you're going to make. It's going to be fabulous. What are you going to make?
Well, what I thought was, if I got a piece of wood and put it and set it in, then we could repurpose it as half a bowl.
We could.
You could have it coming up above with a little hole in the top, and it could be screwed in somewhere, and you could put a plant in it and grow something over the edge.
You could.
See, that was my thought while doing it, because I know I seem to have an obsession with broken things, and there may be those out there who think, well, Phil makes a big deal about the broken things because obviously you've got to say something on channel, and it gives us a bit of a conversation. And that I've decided along this line since we started mudlarking, I can assure you that's not true, because quite a number of years ago I made an astounding discovery of the beauty of brokenness, and I learned all by myself. I didn't know about all the teaching that was out there. We were in France. I broke into a derelict building. Well, I didn't break in. The window was missing. I did have to climb about 10 feet in the air to get through the window and then jump down inside. It was a church that was ruined. It was on a sandbank. It was tipping over. The bell was still in the tower, and it's
probably long gone. It was really dangerous.
Yeah, it was sinking and going, and it was a. I believe it had been attached originally to an asylum that was local, and this was the chapel which had been left to fall to the ground. And when I got in, vandals had got in, and they had spray painted everywhere, and there was all graffiti on the walls, and they'd smashed what was in there. And I have in my box of treasures from years ago, this must have been, gosh, I will work it out, but it's a long time ago.
At least 20 years ago.
I have in my box of treasures a piece of broken plaster that came from one of the icons that would have been in that church. And I brought home a broken piece of plaster from an unknown icon.
Which I didn't let him forget. You stole a piece of Jesus?
I don't know who it was. It's a piece.
It was a bit of a...
And I
like
brought it home.
Or something.
And I went around and I told everyone who would listen. I took it with me. I talked in various places. And I took it with me. And I spoke then about the genuine beauty of brokenness and the strength and the power of brokenness. So I'm not making it up. I do passionately feel this, and that's why I keep banging on about it, and that's why you and the folks gave me this.
Yes. Look at that.
You'd
swear that was plastic, wouldn't you?
This bottle. Now, sometimes people say, well, what could you make out of that? It's not what I can make out of it, it's what it is. For me, that is beautiful. Just because it is, and it survived, and I love it. So, I don't need to make anything out of it. What I need to do is to take it from where it was, which was in a hole covered in dirt, and put it somewhere else. Because I'm telling you now, you put that on a plinth and put lighting on it and present it, and people will look at it and think, wow, how did you make that? And I never made it. That's what it is. But when it's lying in the ground, nobody wants it. And there's a real lesson there for all of us, folks. People may not value you where you are, but don't worry. You're not meant to be just where you are. You're just where you are on the way to where you're going, and everybody's day comes. And for this bottle, we turned up. Its day has come. And there we are.
It's famous. It's on YouTube.
And believe it or not, that's the clean version.
Yes, it was really stinking.
Yep. Well, Manky's living proof of that.
Well,
isn't
yes.
he? Fair play.
Oh, I had a recommendation come up on my, because I always stay signed in on my art channel, and a recommendation came up for one of the Let's Go videos, and it said teddy bear rescue, and it was where Manky, when we found him in the ground.
And you washed him.
And we pulled him out, well, I pulled him out of the ground, and there's this little monkey-shaped hole in the ground where he came from, and at the time he was just a grotty old teddy bear, but now we've got an old Manky, and he's the star of the show. Oh, it was really sad to see. I was like, oh, poor
And the
Manky.
funny thing is, play the video, folks. This is the gospel truth. Caroline will bear me out. Caroline said he's only fit for the bin. And I wasn't being nasty, because if you saw him, you'd have agreed with her. And you'll hear my voice weekly saying, oh, can't we rescue him? And that's what we did. Folks, you've got to just keep on believing, because Manky is now a YouTube star with his own Manky Productions. People are wearing his t-shirts. And
one day you may spot somebody wearing a Manky Panda Production t-shirt.
And he genuinely left an imprint in the mud, Manky shaped.
He was so trodden down.
But that's all that's left of him on that footpath behind the rubbish dump. And of course he was so excited on this visit because he realised that we were actually back in his part of the world. And
he recognised the accent.
Well, Lynn and Jeff live just round the corner. They're neighbours. And who knows, he may have come from where they live.
Could have done.
Because he wasn't meant to be on that path, surely. So
oh,
there we are.
Linda Peterson said, yes, just watch the beginnings of Manky, loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Dawn. Oh, Dawn, our spanner's in tonight.
Dawn the spanner.
It doesn't sound very glamorous, does it?
No.
Your admin-y sort of thing when you've got a spanner.
Yes. Dawn can kick you out, so be nice to Dawn.
Yes.
Dawn the bouncer.
Yes.
Dawn's our bouncer. She's door staff.
Right, we need to have another question.
Go on then.
Here we go.
One of the items that Graham showed me when we were up there, it was badly cracked right through and damaged, but it was a John Smith's bottle. And I want to ask you now a question related to John Smith. Not the product, but the advertising for John Smith. Now, I know in recent years they've used comedians, because I think they've had Peter Kay and Jack D was the face of it for a while. But going back to the ones I remember, going back to my day, he says, as an old man, there were a series of adverts, one of which starred the Jack Russell that did acrobatics and juggled in order to get a saucer of John Smith's. Now, one of those adverts, one of those great classics, John Smith's was compared to a great composer, and the line at the end was, John Smith's 3, this composer 0. Which great composer lost 3-0 to a glass of John Smith's? Was it Tchaikovsky? Was it Mozart? Or was it Bach?
And I got this one right. Oh, Tatiana said, Todd sends lovely greetings to Manky. Oh, Todd is the teddy bear we sent over to Tatiana to rescue him. He'd been to hospital at Tatiana's. So, Manky says, mwah, to Todd. And anybody else who wants a Manky kiss. Mwah. There we go. Be back up there. Right, oh, I missed the answers coming in. Have you got the answers?
I tell you what.
Well, they're coming in so fast.
I have indeed.
You got them? Oh, look how many answers are in. Wow.
Look. That's where I am anyway.
Never.
Yeah, look. I tell you what. Few people out there watch these adverts. But I got a feeling that some have got it right and they would have been too young.
Rufus said Boy Bach. Possibly. I don't think Bark's name was Boy, was it? Right then, so...
I don't think there's anything.
Right?
I don't think there's any more above it, is there?
No, I can't see any. I think that's right. Sorry if we got it wrong. We try our best, but our screens are different to your screens sometimes as well.
As long as ours match, that's the best we can do.
Yeah.
Right then, folks. Now, Caroline got this right. And she got it right working on a simple deduction.
I thought, well, if this is going to be a funny joke in an advert, then chances are they pick the funniest name.
Some names just are. And that's not funny as in laugh at the person because of their name. But if you listen to comedians, they'll tell you some letters of the alphabet are funnier than others. Certain numbers are funnier than others. And they do this on purpose. It just runs well. And Caroline felt if she was going to use one of these for comic effect, she would have chosen Tchaikovsky.
Yes. Sounds just more humorous, doesn't it?
The voiceover at the end of the advert said, John Smith's 3, Tchaikovsky 0. So, how he knows, I don't know. Because I thought he'd been too young.
Well, people are saying he put the answer down before the question came out. Now, I don't know if that's right or not. Ooh, but we got no way of finding out because I wasn't looking at the screen.
Put it this way.
So.
If he's putting the answers down before the question comes out, and he has got it right first time and second time, then is he guilty of cheating or telepathy? Now then.
Now there's a thought.
Now then. I've already starting to suspect that Tom Burley has got X-ray eyes.
Adam said was a guess. Lots of people appreciated the kiss off Manky, and Sheila said no one will believe me that I got kissed by a panda. Well, there you go. That's your claim to fame.
As M&S
He's
would
very
say,
generous with his kisses, Manky.
As M&S adverts put it, not just a panda, it's Manky Panda.
It's not just a kiss, it's a Manky Panda kiss.
That's right. So, assuming that the guests came in on time, so I'm going to name 4 just in case, but Adam's Advanced Adventures got A and put it top of the list.
Well done, Adam.
Followed immediately, and I take my hat off to Paul, because Paul actually wrote Tchaikovsky and got in second.
Well done.
So, fair play. That is fast finger, that is. Ed, Creative, also got A, and Richard Serridge was there as well. First 4 answers in were correct, and that's Adam, Paul, Ed, and Richard. So there we go.
Well
at the
done,
moment,
all of you.
it's all at the top, and then it starts to vary. We get different ones guessing different names. But it was Tchaikovsky. But if you have 8.5 minutes of your time and you think, I want to waste these actually doing something pointless that may entertain me, then on YouTube, they do have 8.5 minutes of the series of adverts from the 1970s, 80s, was it? For John Smith's.
Well, I do love it. I love some of these old adverts. They're brilliant. They take me right back. I love the Woolworths Christmas advert. Oh, and have a happy Christmas at Woolworths with that song. Oh, I thought it was wonderful.
I came in last night at some unearthly hour in the darkness, and Caroline was watching a thing on YouTube about Butlins. And that was brilliant to watch. Marvellous show. So many of the top entertainers that came through as Redcoats. But they had an advert on there when Butlins ran into major trouble in the 70s because everybody found it was cheaper to go to Spain than to go to Butlins. And when you got to Spain, the food and the drink was so much cheaper than buying it staying in Britain. So they would all go in, and they did an advert, and this was their clever trick. They get this jumbo jet, they've got the lady walking down, the hair hostess, and she's talking to another lady, and she says, oh, where are you going? And she says, oh, I'm off to Barbados or whatever. And she goes, oh, that's lovely. She said, I'm having a holiday next week, the air hostess says. And she goes, oh, which part of the world are you going to? And she said, oh, no. She said, I'm going to Butlins. And she goes, stop the plane. I want to go to Butlins too. And the voiceover goes, Butlins, where hair hostesses go for holidays.
So now you know.
And I thought, boy, oh boy, they knew how to make adverts in those days.
Well, Midlands Girls just got in and said, sorry, I'm late. I do have a note. As long as you have a note, you're forgiven.
Well, I missed the premiere last night.
Wow,
so
wow. Sarah said, I used to be at Butlins Redcoat, the Grand Hotel in London. No, I've been past that. I've seen it. Right by the pier,
lovely.
Isn't it? Big, huge place. When we went past, it was getting quite old and tired then, though it was probably about 15 years ago. but huge place and beautiful views they must have. Well, how exciting we have a red coat amongst us.
Excellent.
Ooh, so if things go wrong, you can entertain us.
Yeah, because we've been to Minehead for holiday. We've been to Skegness.
Yeah, Lexi B said Butlins in Skeg Vegas. Yes, we went to Skegness. They
Yeah.
say the if you haven't been to Skegness, their saying is Skegness, it's bracing. Ooh, it is bracing. It's so windy.
They actually say Skegness, it's bracing, and a picture of a little cartoon sailor with his Sylvester on and his hat blowing off. That is why I did it, folks. You're gonna have wind blowing in off the East Coast. But it's good for you, they reckon.
Lexi B says they still have one of the original chalets on display. Yes, they showed that on this programme. And Alison said, I love going to Butlins to Skegness. They got a monorail at Clacton. And I think they got
Clacton? Is Clacton gone now?
I think Clacton's shut now. I know, but...
We went to Clacton. We stayed in Clacton when... Oh, gosh, we had
ago.
one child. How long ago was that? That's got to be 37 years ago. We had one child.
And we've been to Bognor Regis, and they definitely got a monorail, because we used to call it Bonga Regis. I don't know why, it seemed humorous. Right then, other people have been to Skegness. I went to Skegness, Butlins, when I was 7. My grandfather had a car, which was really posh. So my mother, father, and me and my sister all sat in the back seat, because there were no seatbelts, and you could in those days. And my gran and grandpa were in the front, and we went to Skegness. And my memory is, it's the only time I felt really clever and important, and that's saying something. I was in
The only time? You've been married to me. I was thinking, you've been married to me for 40 years, and in that whole time, I have never caused you to feel clever or important.
But you wait till you were I did.
All right, so you peaked early.
I did.
The last 40 years has just been a disappointment to you after peaking early as a child in Butlins.
Well, we were in the arcade, where you put the 2p's in, or the old pennies they were. Big pennies.
Aye.
And there was this ballerina, and she span around on a mirror. Some of you, if you've been there, you may actually remember this. And you put your 2p in, and it rolled down, and then the ballerina would go around, push your 2p, and push the 2p's off the end, and you'd win them. Well, I started putting my 2p's in, and this machine just kept giving me money after money, and eventually, this sounds like an exaggeration, I drew a crowd. There was this 7-year-old kid, and you could hear tickle, 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 tickle. And I was like, oh, I'm famous. And then, as the thick ends of pennies all wore off, well, then I was putting in more than I was getting out, and the crowd was dissipating. And then I'd run out of all my pennies, and the crowd had gone. But that was like, whoa.
And I now understand the woman I'm married to. 40 years this September, and now I understand.
I love 2p
We were on our 25th wedding anniversary when Caroline realised I was scared of heights after she'd taken me up in a cable car. And I was pinned against a wall. She didn't know. And I didn't know this, but I can see it in her character. Because, folks, can you guess where we went for Caroline's 50th? We went to Blackpool, and she was playing on the 2p slots. Winning plastic
Blackpool, the
ducks.
Vegas of the North or something.
Yeah, winning plastic ducks. I've shown them on you before, I think. It started a duck collection. And every time a duck would fall over, it was so much bigger than a 2p, it'd get stuck. And I'd shout over, excuse me, and he goes, what's the matter? And I say, me duck is stuck.
Yes, you go, oh, is your duck stuck?
Is your duck stuck? And we come back with a dashboard covered in ducks. And it's always the 2p's, never 10p's, 5p's, none of that silver nonsense. It's got to be like the old days when you had the big pennies.
Oh, Lexi's mum. My mum set the alarm off in the arcade at Cleethorpes by shoving the machine to try to dislodge coins. I've never been tempted to do that.
Any of you play pinball? That's a stinker, isn't it? When you just give it a nudge just to get the ball down, next thing you know, tilt.
Yeah, the ball goes down and... Anyway, we better get on with something Mudlarking related, hadn't we? Should we have another question, because it's gone 22?
Go on then. Oh, and there was mention from someone as well. Georgina and Mountain Ash saying Barry Island used to have a Butlins.
Yes,
Yeah.
Barry Butlins. We never went to Barry Butlins. I think because it was
Went
so
there,
close
but
to
never
home.
stayed there, did we?
I don't think we ever went. Well, my family never went there.
No, I mean we went to Barry and we saw Butlins,
Yes,
but we
never
stayed
stayed
or
in
went.
Barry Butlins.
Yeah, and what a disappointment when it went, because that must have been such a shock to the town. Well, the park. Admittedly, well, I was going to say Cagney and Lacey, but
We have answers coming into the question, and we've got diverted and haven't asked the question yet. Look at look. See how many questions are coming in and we haven't asked yet. Ooh,
Tom Burley's gone for F.
He's going to get to Z at this rate.
My dear, he started off with a B and then he went for an F.
Oh, you naughty people. You're very, very wound up tonight, you are.
Adam, you've started. So what was the
We
question?
haven't had the question yet.
No, but that doesn't seem to matter too much.
No.
I'm going to have to stop this ABC if you don't behave yourselves. Yeah, Barry Butlins, fantastic place. I was always going to say Cagney and Lacey, but it's not that. It's Gavin and Stacey,
yeah.
which to me is about the same thing. Gavin and Stacey was filmed down there and gave it a bit of a boost. But also, our claim to fame, Gavin and Stacey was filmed, or at least, and it might have been a different programme, but the lady
the
that was in it, the
spin-off
spin-off
to
to
it, I
it
can't remember
that the lady was in with the dark hair, that was filmed in Bargard.
He was in
our local pub. So there. Okie dokie.
Right,
Friendly
so-
Fox it was called on the show, but it was actually the Ambry in
Yeah, people
Bargard.
used to sit outside Morrison's on the seats and wait
Watching
to see
them.
the stars. We'd like, what are they all there for? And then you'd see the big
Right then.
vans on location and things.
I was going to say, you have to use your imagination for this question.
They
But
already are.
most of you beat me to it because we have had 14 answers in so far with people using their imagination, or it's not only Adam has telepathy, and obviously Tom has more than see-through vision. Right then, use your imagination, because I am not holding up an Accrington brick because it's up on the front yard. I brought all the fines down literally 2 minutes before the show, and I forgot to go outside and get the Accrington brick. But if you've seen the show, you know I've got it. It was among 3 bricks. I said I'm going to bring back 1. I ended bringing back 2.
Tom said, if I don't play, does anyone really beat me? Good point.
So, I am now going to ask, based on the fact I brought home from Yorkshire an Accrington brick, an Accrington question. Because in the early 19th century, there was regular conflict between employers and workers over wages, but also over the dangerous working conditions, which cost many people their lives. On the 24th of April 1826, now we've all heard about the general strike in 1926, this is 1826, 100 years earlier, over 1,000 men and women marched on Sykes Mill at Accrington, and they smashed over 60 looms.
Big Dev.
Then the riots spread to the neighbouring towns. After 3 days of riots, how many looms were destroyed? Was it X 200 to 400, Y 500 to 700, or Z 1,000 to
I
1,200?
don't think anybody's got that.
X, Y, or Z? Was it 2 to 400 destroyed? Was it 5 to 700 destroyed, or 1,000 to 1,200 destroyed? X, Y, or Z?
Right, just double checking. So there we go. Is our first answer. You lot are very naughty tonight. Very naughty. There we go. We've had answers coming in for the last 5 minutes. There.
Yeah, I concur.
There we go. I had no idea with this one. I guessed this one wrong.
No, I think you guessed it right.
Did I?
I think you did.
Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah, I kind of do.
It certainly wasn't from knowledge anyway, so I shouldn't really be credited with it.
Folks, I'm not really cross with people for having a bit of fun. The reason I used X, Y, Z was because I wouldn't know where to start. See, because I look back at the list comes so quick. I look back up and I wouldn't know the fair place to start. So I just thought for X, Y, Z.
Yes, we don't mind a bit of fun.
Don't mind a bit of fun at all. It's just so that I'd have some idea, and that way then the person who has won will be chuffed because they've won. And telepathic Adam didn't come in first this time.
So who did?
There we go. Are you ready for this, folks?
Brace yourselves, it's not Adam.
Taking a podium place for the second time at least tonight, but not in bronze, but gold position, it is Fee in the Shed.
Well done.
It's a
Fee.
shed night tonight.
What is...
Followed, now, quite a few people, because there were actually 1,139 looms destroyed in 3 days as they vented their anger on the employers and on the machines because of the dangerous conditions they were working in. So Fee in the Shed came top of the list. Quite a lot of people went in the middle. But then we've got Rita.
Well done, Rita.
Rita Malberg. And it's hard looking for XYZ. I'm used to looking for ABC. The Kentish Mudlarks channel.
Well done.
There we go. That's the way to do it, see? If you get on a podium position and you've got a channel in your name, you get a shout out just by winning, because there we've got the Kentish Mudlarks channel. And well done to you. I don't know if you're working as a team tonight, the two of you, but if there's two of you or one of you, well done, you've got the third place. So there we go.
Right, now, trying to fit everything in, we're going to have this.
Ooh.
Mail time. I still haven't fixed that mail time. We got an envelope in the post, an envelope depending on where you live. Here we have envelopes.
Oh, do we?
And we do.
Ooh.
There's a letter in this envelope, which I shall read to you. I'll even put my glasses on so that I'm not talking rubbish. Hello, Phil, Caroline, and not forgetting Manky. Thank you for the awesome content of your channel. I know we share a love of finding clay pipe stems, so I thought I would send you a little bling I made for you. I hope you enjoy your gifts. Keep up the great work. Much love. Sue at Adam's Family Pursuits, which is AFP Craft on Etsy. P.S. Thought about making Phil a brick on a chain, but I think the resulting neck ache would not go down too well. Yes, I'd be a bit
Very kind
heavy.
of you to think of that.
So we've got some presents.
Oh, presents.
And oh, look at that posh card to show you.
Oh,
AFP Crafts,
That's
which
gonna
would
be
make sense. Adam's Family Pursuits.
There we go.
And the first thing we've got here is Phil's pipe stem bling.
Oh, I got bling.
Phil's got some bling. And
Pretty.
Manky's pipe stem bling.
See if I hold that up there. So it's a key ring. There's some little leaves just on the bottom, little silver leaves. Piece of pipe stem, bit of chain, and then of course the key ring on the back. Beautifully packaged as well.
They are very nice. I'll be with you
Lovely.
now. Try and fix this on Manky if it'll go. Right, it's not going to go. Oops, it's over his snout this way. I'll be with you now. Sorry, this isn't very exciting, is it, visually? Me. There we go, done it. There we go, look at Manky's bling then. Oh, he's got a bit of pipe stem. Thank you.
And the little thing on the back says, handmade with love.
There's another one in here. Which says, Caroline's pipe stem bling, handmade with love. Look at that. So look, it's nice and straight. Another. This, I would say, with the length on that is a necklace with a bit of pipe stem on. So that's lovely. Thank you ever so much. Put all these bits and pieces there, and oh, Sarah Strong. So I thought it was going to be a gold-plated pipe stem. I wonder if they make gold-plated pipe stems. Where's Phil gone now? I'm trying to put everything away, but there we go. Thank you, Sue. That's really kind of you. Oh,
I'm back.
here he comes.
I'm back. There we go. I'm going to put my keyring to immediate use.
Right, okie dokie then. Right, so while you're doing that, I'll show you another find. Now, I got this find, and it's the end, the top of a candlestick. And close by, I found this, which is the bottom of, I was hoping, the same candlestick, but it's not. So I wonder whether I could do something there, but it's really not quite the same, is it? So I'm going to have to think of some way to put that in, and I thought, I'm getting there. What do you think of that then? It's a Shipham's paste pot with a candlestick sticking at the top. So I haven't settled yet. I'm going to try and put that on something but I don't know what. But I don't think that or the bottom of a vase is quite the thing.
I don't know.
You know?
I think Shipham's plays a large part in our finds.
It does, yes.
Can I just say
You can.
that I think that was the most timely gift you could have sent me, because,
Oh, yes.
folks, there's the key to the shed
Look at that.
for all of my mudlarking finds, and there's my new keyring with the pipe stem on, and that is my shed key. And it is the genuine article, that is the shed key. It is
So
a
there you
huge
go.
key because
It is
it's a
big.
huge shed.
Tim came up with a really good suggestion. He said, Dad, get another one, Kat. So if any of you know Phil, you know he forgets everything. Did we ever tell you about the key issue down the dump? We were looking down the dump and Phil went back to the car to put some bags in the car and bring some fresh ones, and looked around, and then we were looking around somewhere else, wandered along chatting, and Phil said, oh, look at this shirt, and I looked down, and there, next door to it, were our car keys. He'd looked at something on the way down, put the car keys down, forgotten he'd even put them there.
Gone for a walk, and about an hour later we come back and there were the car keys in
How
the
we
middle of the
passed
dump.
that same piece, I don't know, but that was, I thought, oh, he panics me. I say to him now, show me the keys.
Right then, here's a find.
Right, here we go.
And this find will introduce another question, because we've got 2 questions to do in 6 minutes.
Right, we better be quick.
It's a broken find.
It is rather, isn't it?
It's got a big hole and a crack. So normally I wouldn't pick up a square jar with a big hole and a crack. But then I realised it's got a rather interesting top.
I love that.
And then, having picked it up because it had an interesting top, I found that it had writing on it. The National Telephone Company Limited.
Now,
So,
Tom was saying, well, cell battery casing, lovely. I looked up on Google. Jill told me what were the words to put in, and apparently it's for holding battery acid.
which
Which
probably,
makes sense because of the little pouring lip, because why else would you put a little pouring lip on there?
or is that to
So-
top it up?
Could
Was
be.
there a top on this? Because I did read that it was this company that introduced, or it was the Bell company that joined with us, that introduced the acid process that improved the whole thing of telecom communications. But I don't think you can see the air bubble in there.
I would have loved it to be whole, obviously, but I just love that as it is.
And the distortion on it. And the colour.
It's quite a greeny look to it, isn't it?
Yes.
It's not really aqua.
So, I'm now going to ask you a question related to that thing.
Right, before you do, Sheila said, can they make a keychain from a marmalade jar? That would be a conversation piece. That would almost look as good as my pimped up wellies. I don't know if you saw the live show with my pimped up wellies, but they were interesting, and Phil used marmalade jars on those.
I have a marmalade jar. Why? Because we found it on this trip. They are not rare where we were. I can assure you of that. As can Graham, because he's got quite a few in the garden.
Yeah.
There we go. Right then. Question? Shall we do a question?
Oh, sorry.
Would you? I'm not questioning the...
There you go.
The National Telephone Company were formed in 1881, and they were the driving force behind the rapid development of telecommunications in the United Kingdom. But the government, sneaky lot, decided they wanted all the benefits that were flowing in and the bounty from this new initiative. So what did they do? They made all the companies that were working in telecommunications have licenses, and then announced, we're not giving any more licenses. So it meant that within a couple of years their license would run out and they would no longer exist as a company because they wouldn't be licensed to do so. Saying that, they did then, the post office, that's who took over in the name of the government, did pay the National Telephone Company £12 million, which was quite a lot of money at the time. But when was the
Stop
time?
answering the question.
When was the time? I'm not going to accept any answers that come in before I give you. Was it? They started in 1881. Did they run for 10 years? 30 years or 50 years? How long was the company running? That company which we have the piece for, how long did that company exist? Was it from 1881, did they run for 10 years? That's A. B, 30 years. C, 50 years.
Well, we've got first. Oh, some of you are on the ball today, and there's our first right answer. Well done.
Where's that?
I'm sure there's lots of answers still coming in. There.
Right.
Okay, so I can go down now. Let's have a look how many answers are coming in.
Ooh, what happened there?
I've lost it, have you?
Loads. No, I got back up there.
Yeah, lots of answers flying.
So many coming in. It's flying down. Doing.
Jeff says 15 years and a half.
Could be. But then again, if it was, I'd have probably put it in as one of the answers.
But it's definitely a good guess.
Everyone likes a person who's willing to step out on a limb and have original thought. I was once complimented during my degree studies for having original thought. And for those wondering what I have a degree in, I have such original thought that I didn't finish the first year and decided I didn't need it anyway. Actually, that is the truth. I quit my degree because I was going into politics. I wanted to be an assembly member in the Welsh Senedd. But then I got disillusioned because I suddenly realised that it wasn't for me. So I took a different path.
You did.
And I quit my university. But I did get an A for an essay because it had original thought. Sorry, Jeff. It's original to come up with an answer that's not on the list, but you're not getting an A. Right then. We have lots and lots and lots of correct answers.
Well done if you got the right answer, and well done if you had to go anyway.
I did infer they weren't open very long, which was in order to push people towards the 10 years, which is wrong.
Sneaky, sneaky.
But the correct answer was 30 years. So
well
if
done,
you've
you
got
that.
30 years or B or 2, then you were correct. And Dawn Evans,
Well
the
done,
lady
Dawn.
with the spanner, our bouncer on the door, came in on gold position date. She is really rocking tonight, our Dawn. She got 30 years.
Well done,
And fair
Dawn.
play, wrote 30 years, which took a lot longer than for in B. Straight in behind Dawn, all the glitters.
Well done.
And straight in behind all the glitters, a name that we've seen already tonight. I'm not sure if it was on a podium. I think it was a comment, but it's Suzanne English.
Well done, Suzanne.
So there we go. And West Country Mudlarks were directly behind that. They were right. And Charlotte S was right. So lots of correct answers in a bunch.
Yes.
Got 5 in a row, but the top 3, Dawn, All the Glitters and Suzanne. Well done, all of you. Yep, 30 years they've been going, but still they were deemed to be the driving force, put us ahead of the game on telecommunications. And although the post office said the reason they were taking them all over was because they were going to re-energise, modernise and change everything overnight and make a better telephone system, they were still using the national telephone companies' exchanges up until the mid-1950s. So for 40 odd years they were using the exact technology that these guys had put in place.
Yep.
But for that to be stamped on there, it has to be, well, somebody said they think it was 1910. It has to be pre-1911 and that 10-year period, because that's when they were using the acid and that's when the company no longer existed.
Right, so
There we go.
if you get another find and we have another question.
Hang on then, I've got to show you a few finds a minute. I got to
Right,
show you
'cause time is gone.
another broken bottle. Look at that one. See, that is gorgeous, isn't it?
It is.
You've got to admit it.
Yes.
You know, I just love them.
They are nice, it's all melted, because it's completely haphazard. They can formed in their own way, like bottles. They're lovely, but you know what shape it's going to be. The same shape as the other million they made. But these ones, you have no idea what shape they're going to turn out because they've melted.
That's a beautiful piece of blue that Lynn found. And we decided to try the cutter out on this ridged glass and see if we can form a nice little drop-in candle there and make a candle out of that one, just because it is, I think a candlelight through that at Christmas with the others would look beautiful. Also on the broken bottle front we have that, which looks great until you realise the bottom smashed off. But I'm going to see if I can cut it just below the line there.
Now that reminds me of the big Esso bottle you found.
Does it? Well, I'm
Probably isn't a little
hoping to
bottle.
cut it just below the line and then be able to use it with a candle in the top. That's my thoughts for that one. This one is lovely. It says L Rose and
Yes,
Co.
which makes me think it was lime cordial.
There we go. L Rose and
Oh,
Co.
there it is.
There we go. Just on the top there. I don't know if it'll pick up. L Rose and Co. over the top of there.
Just a little bit. Shall I take it off here? There.
But a lovely colour, and it's definitely lime, I'd say, because those are limes on the leaves. On the,
Yes. I
you can
love
see
that
the limes
bottle.
there.
It's such a shame the rest is gone, but I think if we can cut that, that is stunning.
Sure, we can find a use for that. And last but by no means least, because it introduces my question, last question of the night is this one.
A really pretty one again.
And that is Crimble's Vinegar, which is written there. Now, I have had success, those who've seen the video know, in cutting pressed glass with my little cutter. So if I can cut around there again, and then possibly there, I'll be able to, or I'll grind the top, then I'll be able to use that as well as a candle holder, because I think that's a lovely pattern. That reminds me somewhat of the Esso bottle as well, that design on it, that geometric design. But that was, at one time, full of vinegar. And now we'll have a vinegar question.
There you go.
Right then. The vinegar question is, we've been using vinegar for an awful long time. In fact, I read in one quote, vinegar has been around as long as civilization.
Ooh,
Now, that depends where you think civilization began.
this is true.
But they have discovered vinegar in the bottoms of jars in Egypt from the period 3000 BC. So we're going back a while. But there is a document, a record of the use of vinegar that predates that. We are talking 5,000 years. All I want to know is, where was that document written and discovered? Was it China, Babylon, or Turkey? 1, 2, or 3.
I got this wrong.
China, Babylon, or Turkey? What was the origins of the document that spoke of the use of vinegar 5,000 years BC?
Right, we got our first answer in there. You agree with that one?
I think so. I can't see
Yep.
it.
Yep. No. Yep.
There.
Yes, that's the one. Oh, let's have a look at the answers coming in. Interesting. Seem to have quite a few right answers.
You have
Right.
quite a few wrong answers, and the wrong answers, many of them agree with you.
Yep. I thought it
Yeah,
just made
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
You looking at it logically, that's where I thought it was, and I failed. So where was it?
Right then, if you agreed with Caroline, then you would have thought number 1 or A, and fair play, Adam was the first answer, and congratulations, you did agree with Caroline. That's where the congratulations ends, Adam, because it's wrong. It was
But
not
it shows all the
China.
information we have in our brains, Adam. Okay.
Yeah, it was not China. Neither was it Turkey. It was actually a scroll from Babylon that recorded the use of vinegar 5000 BC. So if we're looking for Babylon, which is nice and easy because it begins with the B and it's the second answer, so I'm looking for B or 2, then Lexi B, Lexi's Larks and
Well
Crafts.
done, Lexi.
There we go, top podium. Shout out for Lexi and her brilliant channel. Lexi B, Lexi Larks and Crafts. B. Then Richard agreed with you again. Then we've got Jenny Thomas. She's got the B, so that's on the silver. Then,
Well done.
Well done, Jeff. You agreed with Caroline and got it wrong. Sheila agreed with Caroline and got it wrong. West Country Medlocks agreed with Caroline and got it wrong. Jill Tabor thought she'd be different and went for Turkey. Still got it wrong. And it's number 2. That's right. Yes, number 2. Now in.
Ooh.
Javier Garcia.
Javier, I think it is.
Javier Garcia. Javier Garcia has got it right.
Because we live by San Javier.
We live by San Javier Airport. So
I
we're
hope
going
we're
to.
saying it right.
Trust
Sorry
we're
if
saying
we're
it
not.
right. Sorry if we're not.
It's difficult in Wales with Welsh accents.
I would have said Javier if I'd said it in Welsh, but I think it's Javier Garcia. But you're on number 3
Well
podium.
done.
Fantastic. You got it right. And Lynn Bean came straight in behind with a B as well for Babylon. So well done there. And All That Glitters lost a podium place by writing the word Babylon, which took so long they ended up just out of the running because they came in as the 5th correct answer. But yeah, it was Babylon, folks. They were using vinegar.
Richard said, I saw Catherine's confidence in saying China and copied. Oops.
And Ed Creative says, wine turns to vinegar when flies get in it. Well, here's something I can tell you all. I read in my research today, because in this article about the Babylonians and the article about the history of it, they said vinegar, also known as poor man's wine. Poor man's wine. But of course, we turned it all on its head, because as we've told you before, we once went on holidays. Our youngest had a passion for vinegar. We didn't have any, but they had left us a complimentary bottle of wine which tasted so awful that we just tipped it on the chips and they were happy.
Well, according to my French teacher, he said that vinegar is actually vin, V-I-N, which is wine, and then aigre, which is sour. So a vin aigre, which is sour wine, which is vinegar.
Which is a poor man's wine. So I suppose if wine did go bad and tasted like vinegar, because somebody say, oh, it tastes like vinegar, then that was what the poorer people had.
Hello, Itchy Feet Caravanners in just before we finish.
There we go, lovely.
Right, so I think that's it then.
I think it is. It's
Yes,
10 past 10.
Thank you everyone for
Finds
joining us.
have all been found.
How many thumbs up have we got? If you could give us a thumbs up.
89 thumbs up,
89
142 watching, 2 thumbs down. Thank you everyone for those.
If you can get us to 100 thumbs up, it would be brilliant.
I must say, because Caroline's forgotten, we are going to be on the road again. On the road again. So next Saturday night will be a not live show.
But we're in the chat.
We'll be in the chat in a Premiere Inn somewhere, and we'll be out filming. We're trying to cash in on the weather and the freedom, and we're trying to go north because the north gets shut down so easily, as does Wales. So it took us. I turned up at the Premiere Inn when we got up to Halifax, and I said, it's taken me 16 months to get you. And the person behind the counter said, what did you do? Walk? But we got there, and we're going to try and cash in. So we're going to be, as I say, heading out.
Yes,
so
but we will be
not
in the live, so we're really looking forward to next week again.
Yes, thank you all.
And we'll see you all next time. But until then, don't forget.
Have fun. Bye.